In this segment of the trip report to the Badlands from the Twin Cities, before I carry on to the next location and attraction that we went to, I would like to tell you that in Custer State Park we did find another campground that we really enjoyed. We did not stay there, but it provided a dumping station for us. Since Sylvan Lake was, again, only an electrical hookup, it provided dumping for only $5, and that's Camp We Like It, or Wellikit. We were never quite sure how it was pronounced, but it had things for children, and yet it was kept very quiet, beautiful, spacious, new owners, very nice people. They couldn't help us enough. And actually, for our first dumping experience, we were really glad to have a pro there to help us out. So Camp We Like It. That's a little bit south in the Custer State Park, and a very nice place to be. Our sixth stop on our journey was Crazy Horse Monument. This one I won't, but I could spend an hour on this. This is absolutely a spectacular event. It's very moving. There may be tears. This is quite a powerful place to go. This monument is the largest in the entire world. It's bigger even than the Egyptian pyramids. Obviously, Crazy Horse is, and he's on his horse, is what is being sculpted. My husband and I had been here about 27 years ago, and at first I really didn't think it had changed that much until I heard the story of how much work has gone on in this effort to literally take out hundreds and thousands, perhaps in the 500,000 tons of rock off the mountain. As a matter of fact, let's give you a shot of it here. I would say this is a good picture. You can see that they've got the face carved. This face alone is 87.5 feet, and they've just got nice levels, level after level. They know just how to do the dynamite. They've got technology now that tells where the fissures are and so forth, so that they don't destroy something that needs to be a part of this mountain. It is absolutely enormous. The theme there is never forget your dreams. The man who actually was the initial, and this is all in his memory, to his memory, the sculptor, is Korczak Ziolkowski. And so it's called, they just refer to him as Korczak. And when you go there, this is a very quality class operation. From the entrance to the parking lot, the museums, there's a house museum, a sculptor's museum, the gift store. Oh, that little gift store we were in 27 years ago is not there anymore. It's just enormous. They've got a beautiful viewing deck so you can watch the dynamite explosions, you can watch the work be done. And several times a year, you don't have to hone in on this, but several times a year they have events from May 3rd through August to bring the people out in a little bit more full force. We just happened to be there, and we feel it was a divine appointment that we were there on the second and only of two night blasts that they have every year. It's more of a decorative night blast. It's not something that they're actually doing project-wise. Lights it all up at night, and then they have a laser show on the side of the mountain. Now, something I do want to show you, if we could go back in here again, is that just to give you an idea of how big this is, and it is quite breathtaking. Crazy Horse will have flowing hair here when it's all done. And they've got that nicely chiseled away. They'll be putting that in eventually. Their next stop first is the horse. They're going to put the horse in. But the hair is well ready to go. It's just flowing back because this is supposed to be a moving picture of him riding on a run. So his hair would be back. In this segment right here behind his head, Mount Rushmore would fit in. The four faces of Mount Rushmore would fit in right there. That will give you a scale model visual of just how enormous this is. Our family is really big dreamers, and I will say there were tears because these people had a dream. They were approached by an Indian tribe to do this, and it was started right after World War II. He was hesitant at first. He did this all by himself for the first 5 years with only the assistance of his young children. They show them all with their jackhammer, learning how to use it at really young ages, maybe 10 or 12 years old. And he got a lot done. Then they sent out some help and finished the face, and there was the grand opening for that. And it just went on to become what you see now over time. But really taking out this boulder, this rock, tons and tons of rock, has taken all these years so that they now can start sculpting. Here's a future site of Crazy Horse, and this is absolutely fascinating to me. This is what it will look like when it's finished, and this is going to be a 360-degree mountain carving. It won't just be set in the mountain, it will be the entire mountain, front and back. The thing that I think is most touching, well, one of the many things, is that they have a real heart to start a university for Indians, Indian youth or whoever, and also there will be a medical facility for those students to actually work at. So there really is a lot. And this right up here is what I just described. You're a mile away. When you buy your ticket to take the bus up, it takes you halfway up. It doesn't look like this at all now, of course. This is the future picture. You take the bus about halfway up. They stop and give you a great place to take some spectacular pictures of the face and the side of the mountain. Our tour guide Charlie was humorous and wonderful, very informative. Crazy Horse, let's see, I just want to be sure I give you the right, it's crazyhorsememorial.org. Take a look at that and don't miss this one. You will be glad that you didn't. All right, after Crazy Horse, by the way, don't put too much in one day. We did the wind caves. First went to We Like It and did the dumping procedure. And that took a long time, and just to find it and get all situated there. Then we went to the wind caves. Then we went right to Crazy Horse Mountain. Two big, very exhausting things in one day. We had a very short time to be out there. And let's just say I wouldn't recommend that. So book your things in if you possibly can. These attractions can sometimes take a whole entire day. If anything, at best, if you have to put two attractions back to back, give yourself a good couple hours rest in between so you can have some lunch, perhaps take a little nap and be refreshed for the next one. All right, moving on. The next night, we chose to go in the evening to Mount Rushmore. We did take Iron Mountain Road, which is a fantastic experience. It does involve 3 corkscrew bridges and 3 tunnels, 2 of which, when you drive through them, you can actually see. They're set in place to see the faces. So it's just spectacular in that regard. There's also viewing sites along the way to show you the faces as well. The first glimpse we got of the faces on Mount Rushmore was, oh man, probably 10 miles away, across a big field, and here there were houses right behind us, and here I was thinking, these people get to see this all the time. It was kind of a side angle view. Really amazing. They had a very, again, emotional ceremony for the veterans that were there that night to take the flag down. A wonderful presentation in the amphitheater. There's a 3-hour trail behind the 3.3 mile trail behind the amphitheater. It includes the Sculptors Museum, which was, for us, a little disappointing. We did not get to see. Of course, there's the Hall of Flags of all the 50 states in America. You can't go there without some tears. My favorite display was the interviews of the men who worked on Mount Rushmore. That was very touching to me. So, oh, and the sculptor Gutzon Borglum started this in 1927. It did shut down because of his death, and his son had 6 months left to wrap it up and get everything off of there, which is why we only have the faces. It initially was designed and going to be all the way down the men's bodies to their hands. So there's quite a bit that we can't see that we would have seen, and they can't change that, because to do so would be, as they say, like changing the Mona Lisa. So we'll stop for that one and get on to part 3.